Hello, everyone. I'm so glad to be with you. Welcome to the World Tapping Circle. I'm your host, Sophia. You are here live streaming with me from wherever you are. I'm in Austin, Texas. I hope that you are sitting comfortably somewhere happy and well, feeling safe and secure. We have a good tap for you in store. This is going to be a really powerful session, really helpful, as you can see by the theme, which is News on My Nerves. If this is your first circle and you're live streaming with us and you feel like chatting with us, let us know so we can keep an eye on you and take really good care of you. The rest of you, welcome back. So glad that so many old timers are here. Some people have been tapping with us for 6 years. Some people are fresh from just a few months ago. Some people are here for the very first time with a new membership or joining in with a friend or a family, which, by the way, is classically called a tapping party. So let us know also if you're sharing your membership with someone and they're here in the room with you. That's a special time. It's very bonding and relieving for us to do this work together. I'm going to say hi to a few people in the chat, and then we're going to get on with our theme of the day, News on My Nerves. All right, let's see who's saying hello. Hi, Diane in Bellingham, Washington. Magnus here in Austin, Texas. I know you're not seeing him on the screen, but he is here still behind the scenes. Christina L. in Santa Rosa. Sasha I, happy to be here with you, beaming in from Austin. Gregory V, also in Eureka, California. Daniel from New Jersey. Fiona in Austin. Celeste here in California, I believe. Mateo J, hello. Tiffany in Austin. Lots of Austin in the house. Tina H, sending love from Jilly Air. No idea where that is, but sounds cool. Robin O in Green Valley. Diana R says, good theme, much needed, right? Serena G in Lagunitas, California. Marion, Ben, Caleb, Elias, and Tori. Awesome. So, wow, tapping party. Treva in Vancouver Island, Canada. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for giving us a hello. It's nice to know that we are not alone in this world, especially as the news of the day is driving us towards feeling afraid to go out, feeling nervous about being in social settings, feeling isolated, feeling like we need to stand back from other people. So as all of that stuff is going down in the world, we're going to stick it out by keeping connected to our own hearts, connected to the flow of love itself, connected to each other. I'm very grateful to have something that I can broadcast from my home to yours, and that we can still connect and feel each other's presence. That's very important, increasingly so. So whatever news that you're tired of hearing, nervous about, overwhelmed about, tired of trying to cope with, whether it be outbreaks, whether it be shocks around family, friends, work, relationships, this is going to help you process unexpected news or news that is working your nerve. So before we jump into the core causes, I'm actually going to do a pre-tap just to get us all present and grounded and centered. Then we'll take a break, jump into the core causes questions, the 5-minute survey that helps you open up things in your subconscious that may be getting triggered around whatever this presenting stimulus is. And then we'll do a full-on tap for the rest of our session. Thank you so much for your time and your presence. So just following along with me, massaging the front of the chest, feeling for a tender spot in the front of the chest, upper pectoral region, upper breast tissue, giving it a light massage, pressing gently on those tender spots and breathing. 3 deep cleansing breaths. Big deep breath. And one more big deep breath. Very good. Repeating after me. Even though part of me feels tired or overwhelmed, I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tapping the eyebrows. This tired, overwhelmed feeling. Tapping the temples. Part of me is tired of hearing all of this stuff going on. Tapping the cheeks. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Big deep breath. Tapping under the nose. Even though there's all this chaos in the world right now. Tapping under the lips. I'm open to loving and respecting myself. Tapping the chest. I accept the part of me that feels overwhelmed and exhausted by what's going on out there. Tapping the front of the ribs. I'm giving myself permission to process how I'm feeling now. Tapping the side of the ribs. Releasing the fear, the worry, and all the stress that's been building up inside of me. Tapping the inside of the wrist, both consciously and subconsciously. And breathe. Tapping the side of the thumb. Releasing the stress that's building up inside of me. Tapping the index finger, including feelings of fear, worry, and anxiety. Big deep breath. Tapping the middle finger. It's safe for me to relax and recenter myself within myself. Let's say that again. It's safe for me to relax and recenter myself within myself. Tapping the bottom of the fourth finger and breathing. Tapping the little finger. I'm open to loving and respecting myself. Tap the side of the hand. Big, deep breath. Tuning in to the level of stress or fear that's in your body. And just respecting yourself for caring. That stress means that you care. If you didn't care, you wouldn't care. Tapping the top of the head. I accept the part of me that really cares about this world. Tapping the side of the head, the back of the head, the part of me that really cares about people. Tapping the eyebrows. I'm allowing myself, tapping the temples, to relax, even if there's a lot of stress in the world. Tap the cheeks, and in my life. Tapping under the nose. I give myself permission to clear out the residue, tapping under the lips, left over from today, from this week. Tapping the chest, left over from the news of the world. Tapping the front of the ribs. I give myself permission to clear this out of my nervous system. Tapping the side of the ribs so that I can think clearly, feel well, be well, and do well. And breathe. So we're just going to pause there. I want you to notice how you're feeling now as compared to about 5 minutes ago? Let's put it in the chat. Let me know how you're feeling compared to when you came into the circle. If you're watching this on replay, I want you just to tap while you notice how you feel. Accepting for now, whatever state you're in, with some empathy and compassion for yourself. We're not pushing, we're not pulling, we're just hanging out with love and acceptance for where you're at right now. I'm going to take a peek in the chat. So Diane says it feels more intense now, which may be that you are a bit numb or a little out of your body, so you're actually more present. It will come down, so keep breathing, Diane. Thank you for your honesty. Christine says, more aware, clear of the stress noise inside. Exactly the same kind of thing I just said. Marian said it made a huge difference already. Tina H said defrosted and tearful. Treva said she's dropped from a 5 to a 3 and feels more energetic. You see, we all process slightly differently. Serene says lots of yawns, more relaxed and melted. So I want you just to notice 5 minutes can take you kind of out of shock, out of fight or flight, bring you into presence, and actually, for some of us, we can actually get down and start moving it. Gregory says, I'm better because I let all that stuff go, just hanging out with love and acceptance for all. Beautiful. You've got a lot of practice. You've been tapping for a while. Okay, Celeste says, I'm noticing how I feel. I don't feel well yet. I'm able to realize more. Beautiful, great. So some of us are just more aware. Some of us are already starting to release. So we're going to jump into the core causes survey. When it says, what is your issue? Let's see if you can relate it to this theme of whatever news that you're having a hard time processing or dealing with in your life. And we will continue our tap in 5 minutes. Thank you so much. All right, sweet beings, let's continue tapping. Big, deep breath. Even though part of me feels, and then say how you're feeling. I'm open to loving and accepting myself as I am right now. Tapping the eyebrows. This feeling of, and then say how you're feeling again. And tap your temples. I'm open to accepting this feeling and sensation of, what sensation comes with this feeling? Like nervousness with a feeling of foreboding or an energy of tension in my stomach. Tapping the cheeks, let's say it again. This feeling and the sensation of, and name the feeling and the sensation. Big deep breath. Tapping under the nose. I give myself permission. Tapping under the lips. To release this energy from my body. That I feel, and then say where you feel it. Tapping the chest, this energy in my body. That I feel, and then say again where you feel it. And breathe. Just accepting this energy for now. Tapping the bottom of the front of your ribs. I'm open to loving and respecting myself. Tapping the side of the ribs. Even if part of me feels trapped. Big deep breath. Tapping the inside of the wrist. Not sure what to do. Big deep breath. Just tuning into that part of you that might feel a little stuck and not sure what to do about this. Tapping the side of the thumb. I accept the part of me that doesn't know what to do. Tapping the index finger. It's possible I'm doing the right thing now by taking time to notice and process. Tap the middle finger. I'm taking care of myself by taking time for myself. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. Noticing and processing. Tapping the little finger. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tapping the side of the hand. Even if a part of me wants to shut down, go to sleep, run away, or just push it all out of my mind. Tapping the top of the head. That is natural. Part of me says, I don't want to deal with this. I can't deal with this right now. Tapping the side of the head, the back of the head. Tapping the eyebrows. I can't deal with this right now. Just giving a voice to that part of yourself that's just like, no, not another thing. Tapping the temples. I'm open to loving and respecting myself. Tapping the cheeks. I give myself permission to accept this part of me, tapping under the nose, that doesn't want to deal with this. Tapping under the lips. I'm allowing myself to connect with any part of me that's shut down, pulled away, or feels too overwhelmed. Tapping the chest. parts of me that are shut down, pulling away, or feeling overwhelmed. Big deep breath, tapping the bottom of the ribs. I'm open to loving and accepting myself, even if part of me feels overwhelmed. Tap the side of the ribs, shut down, or is pulling away. Tapping the inside of the wrist. I give myself permission to be with myself. Tap the side of the thumb. To be there for myself. Tap the index finger. To be compassionate and gentle with myself right now. Big deep breath. Tapping the middle finger, releasing the fear inside my body that comes from, and then say whatever your issue is. Tapping the bottom of the fourth finger. I give myself permission to process this fear, acknowledging how uncomfortable it is. Big deep breath. So just acknowledge, I know there's a part of me that I can feel it in my chest. I can feel it in my head. I can feel it in my butt. I'm like, oh, big deep breath. So let's just acknowledge how uncomfortable it is. And we're going to have 30 seconds to discuss that. So tapping your little finger, 30 seconds to talk about why it's uncomfortable for you. Keep talking, tapping the side of your hand. Tapping the top of your head. Continuing to discuss what it is that really is working your nerve here. Tapping the back of your head and breathing. Good job. Tapping your eyebrows. It's completely understandable, tapping the temples, why this bothers me. Give yourself some empathy. This is a big deal. Tap the cheeks. At least it feels like a big deal, right? Tapping under the nose. I'm allowing myself to come back into center. Tapping under the lips. Releasing any anxiety or fear in my body. Tapping the chest. Especially the fear of what? What are you afraid of right now? Is it afraid of getting sick? Is it afraid of not being able to make enough money? Tapping the front of the ribs. I love and respect myself. Tap the side of the ribs. I give myself permission to accept this worry and concern for now. Big deep breath. Just acknowledging these legitimate fears and concerns with a gentle, compassionate voice inside you saying, yeah, I get it. Tapping the inside of the wrist. Switching hands, tapping right here. I give myself permission to honor the upset. Big deep breath. Tapping the side of the thumb. Releasing it from my body, especially, and then say where you feel this upset in your body, my neck, my lungs, my shoulder, my head. Tapping the index finger and breathing. Tapping the middle finger. I give myself permission to stay connected to the flow of love in this universe and in this world. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. This flow of love is in this circle. This flow of love is in my heart. I want you to think about someone that you love, an animal, a pet, a friend, a relative, and feel that love inside you. That love is there. Hasn't gone anywhere. Tap the little finger. I give myself permission to strengthen my connection to this loving energy. Tapping the side of the hand, allowing this friend, this person to feel my love right now, sending them a psychic email with your heart saying, I love you so much. I appreciate you. Nothing's going to change that. Tapping the top of the head. I allow myself to stay connected to this loving energy inside me. Tapping the eyebrows and breathing, staying connected to this loving energy that we can feel anytime we shift our attention there. So just tapping your chest and listening for a second. So outside in the world, we have a lot of different sources vying for our attention and telling us what we should think and how we should feel. And when our imagination is captured, it can go down some pretty crazy rabbit holes. And that can elevate stress hormones, that can affect our immune system, that can affect our choices. And those scare tactics can also be let go of, and you can say, oh, well, I have a love tactic. Check it out. I'm going to remember what I'm grateful for, and I'm going to create a new state of being. I'm going to remember what I love. I'm going to remember how the little things in life bring me pleasure. Right now, I have these beautiful flowers, which I always have sitting next to me, or normally when we're doing this, and that brings me pleasure, looking into the face of a beautiful flower. Maybe it's lighting some incense or a candle. Maybe it's gentle music. There are little things that can uplift our vibration, and we can use to anchor our centeredness. Maybe that's an altar that you've created for yourself. Maybe that's cleaning your house. I always clean my house on Mondays, so there's a very fresh feeling in my environment when we do this circle. So I want you to think about the little things that bring you joy and pleasure. So tapping with me, I'm remembering the joy and pleasure I get from, it could be something simple, it could be a hot bath, a drink of something yummy. Name 3 things that bring you joy and pleasure. Tapping the front of the ribs. I give myself permission to feel this joy and pleasure in my body. Excuse me. Tap the side of the ribs and breathe. Tapping the inside of the wrist. I'm learning to maintain my state and hold my vibe. Tap the side of the thumb. No matter what the world is worried about. Tapping the index finger. I'm giving myself permission to stay connected to this peaceful, calm place. Tap the middle finger. Appreciating what I have right now. Big, deep breath, thinking about what you have right now. I have you in my life right now. I have beautiful flowers. I have a safe and peaceful environment. What do you have right now that you can be grateful for? Tapping the bottom of the fourth finger. I give myself permission to stay connected to what really matters. Tap the little finger. Tapping the side of the hand. Even though there's a part of me that's still carrying this old memory. So let's go back in time and see if there's a time when you also felt like you got some shocking news or some bad news, or you were getting excuse me, I just remembered what it was for me, bombarded with this information from outside, and it rocked your world, maybe continuously for years, maybe all of the sudden. You see, when we have a shock from the outside, what happens is that our body looks for other times that were like that so that we know what to do. And if that time from the past wasn't processed, it elevates the stimulus that's going on. So it makes it even more intense, the current stimulus. Does that make sense? So tapping the top of the head, I give myself permission to process this old news that really worked my nerves back when. So I want you to remember when you got some news that was really hard and terrifying or sad or scary that may be contributing to how you feel now. Tapping the eyebrows. Let's tell the story. Tapping the temples. There was a time when, take 1 minute to tell the story as you tap. Tapping the cheeks, keep talking. Tapping under the nose, keep talking. Tapping under the lips, keep talking. Tap the chest. And what did you decide back then was true? I decided that the world was a scary place, or I decided I couldn't trust anybody, or I decided I was going to feel that way forever. Tapping the front of the ribs. This old belief, say the belief that was very true back then for you. Tap the side of the ribs. That was what felt true. Tap the inside of the wrist. And part of me still feels that way now. Check and see if you're feeling the same exact way you just described about the situation you find yourself in now. Tapping the side of the thumb. I give myself permission to finally promise this old experience that's affecting me now. Tapping the index finger and breathing. Tapping the middle finger, this old experience of, and then say what it was. Tell the story again. Keep talking, tapping the bottom of the fourth finger. Tapping the little finger. What was the worst part of that for you? Tapping the side of the hand. And that left me in a state of fear, anger, grief, Feeling unsafe about my future? Big deep breath. Feeling alone? Tapping the top of the head. I give myself permission to finally release the stress and trauma from that time in my life when I was how old? Tap the eyebrows. And dealing with what? Think about it, tapping the temples. It's safe for this to come out of my nervous system. Tapping the cheeks, including the part of me that shut down permanently and has never come back online. Tapping under the nose. Tapping under the lips. It's safe for me to process what is here. And any parts that still remain tight or hidden. Tapping the chest and breathing. I give myself permission to know that I'm safe. I'm being understood and loved. And acknowledged for everything that put me through. Tapping the front of the ribs, including what I put myself through as a result. What did you put yourself through? Did you become someone who isolates, or someone who doesn't trust themselves, or someone who secretly hates themselves? Tap the side of the ribs. Did you become someone who feels unworthy? Describe for 30 seconds how you internalized that experience. Tapping the inside of the wrist, keep talking. And breathe. Tapping the side of the thumb, I give myself permission to understand that younger version of me. Tapping the index finger, I want you to go back in time and see what that younger version of you needed. And give that to that younger version of you. For example, that part of me needed to be rescued. So imagine going and getting them out of that situation and taking good care of them. Or imagine that they needed reassurance, someone to really be on their side, or they needed protection. Maybe they just needed someone to hold them and love them. Tap the middle finger. So in your mind, as you tap your middle finger, I want you to speak to that earlier version of you and say what needed to be said. Tapping the bottom of the fourth finger, let them know, I'm here for you. You can relax now. This time is finally over. You made it safely through. Tapping the little finger, telling them again, you can finally relax now. You're safe now. You can finally relax now. You're safe. Tapping the side of the hand and breathing. Tapping the top of the head. I give myself permission to completely recover my energy, my peace, my joy. Tapping the side of the head and the back of the head. Tapping the eyebrows. I give myself permission to completely recover my sense of safety. Tapping the temples. My sense of peace. And what else? What are you claiming right now, recovering for yourself? Is it being believed? Is it being understood or being loved? Tapping under the nose. Tapping under the lips. I'm allowing myself to completely recover from that time. Tapping the chest. Every cell in my body getting this message that I lived through this. That happiness continued. That I am well. Tapping the front of the ribs. I'm allowing myself to get this message with every cell in my body. I am safe. Tap the side of the ribs. I am well. Tap the inside of the wrist. I'm allowing life to move forward. Tapping the side of the thumb. Big deep breath. Tapping the index finger. I give myself permission to come back to life. Tap the middle finger. No matter what it says out there, I'm allowing myself to feel vibrant, calm, centered, connected to the flow of energy and love inside me. Tapping the bottom of the fourth finger, allowing myself to feel good and to be happy. Tap the little finger. To feel pleasure and comfort. Tapping the side of the hand. I'm releasing the need to feel fear or overwhelm about anything right now. Tapping the top of the head. I will handle things as they come, as I always have. So just tapping your head and thinking about that for a minute. You might think, oh, I'm always prepared for everything. But the truth is, life is a pretty wild, unknown adventure for all of us. And often our best plans turn out really differently. And we try to control things, but we really can't control things. We can manage the way we respond, and we can choose our state, our internal state. Tapping the cheeks. I refuse to be bullied by the news of the world. Tapping under the nose. Allowing myself to feel what is true. Tapping under the lips and right. Tap the chest and good for me. Tapping the front of the ribs. I'm releasing any addiction to staying stressed, overwhelmed, or reactive. Tapping the side of the ribs. Including the reaction of, and then what is the reaction that when the news from out there comes and touches you, how do you react? Do you get angry? Do you get tired? Does it just suck your energy? Does it just make you sad and you just can't stop feeling sad? Does it make you drink or smoke or endlessly scroll through Facebook? Tapping the inside of the wrist. I'm choosing my response. Tap the side of the thumb. Even if my old response has been, and then say what this negative response has been. This old depressing response. Tapping the index finger. I'm creating a new reality inside my own life. Tap the middle finger. Responding with love, with clarity, keeping myself connected. Tapping the bottom of the fourth finger, uplifted. and maybe even inspired. Woo, inspired. Tap the little finger. I know that when I'm here with you, I actually feel really inspired. I feel my community all over the world holding this loving space, beating it like a drum, boom, 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 as we use our bodies to tap this into reality in our own lives, sending out a beacon of light and alignment and peace. All right, sweet family. Tap the top of your head. I'm creating. What are you creating for yourself? Choose your state of being. What is your preferred state of being? I'm creating. Say it out loud. Tapping the back of the head. Name it and claim it. Say it like you mean it. Tapping the eyebrows. You're waking your brain up when you say it with some enthusiasm. I'm creating a state of being for myself called focus, peace, connection, clarity, willingness, patience, fun, tapping the cheeks, playfulness, tapping under the nose. I give myself permission, tapping under the lips, to come back to this state, to come back to this video anytime I need to. Tapping the chest. I refuse to be bullied by the state of the world. It does not determine how I feel or how I respond. No one determines that but me. No matter what's going on, I get to choose how I respond. Tapping the front of the ribs. I am learning how to respond consciously, kindly. Tap the side of the ribs intelligently, compassionately. Tap the inside of the wrist. And what else? Add in one more for yourself. I command this with my consciousness. Tap the side of the thumb. My body is in resonance with this choice. Tapping the index finger. I forgive any parts of me that feel hesitant to do this or still misaligned. Tap the middle finger. Big deep breath. And breathe. Tapping the bottom of the fourth finger. I'm allowing this to be easier than I thought. More fun than I imagined. Tapping the little finger. Part of my new normal. Okay? So in extraordinary times, it calls for extraordinary actions. So the darker things get out there, the lighter things have to get in here. So choosing your state is also saying, I am a candle of light in this world. I am holding the field with my will, with my choice, with how I'm focusing my attention, with the fact that I'm sitting here willing to tap and acknowledge and process and return to my natural state. Connected to myself. Tapping the chest. Connected to practices that give me peace. Like what? What brings you peace? I know tapping brings you peace. Great, that's on your list. What else is on your list? Let's put some of those things in the chat so we can give some people some ideas. What's on your list that puts you back in balance? I know that for me, I'd been forgetting to keep nice music playing in the house all day. And as things were getting weird out there, it was like, oh, and then I was like, oh yeah, put on some nice music. And suddenly the day just had this nice soundtrack of joy and peace. I was like, oh yeah, I have my bubble of how things are going in my world. So I see Sasha say dancing. Great, we can dance at home, right? We can dance on our way to the supermarket. Christina says chanting, dancing. Somebody else says singing, meditating, cooking, gardening, herbal tea, walking, meditation, looking at art. I know that beauty is quite important to me. Order is quite important to me, keeping things tidy. Grounding into really good nourishment, cooking good meals, sharing food with loved ones. Pottery, yoga, more dancing, nature walks, hot baths, making my home a sanctuary, remembering to enjoy the things I enjoy, sitting in the sunshine, listening to the birds. I love listening to the birds. They bring me so much peace. Writing, family, soil, painting, salt baths, giving readings for people, feet in the earth, hilarious comedy shows, cuddles, petting furry friends. All right, this is a great list. So the darkest times create the lightest times. So we get to decide how we're responding to outside stimulus. We can also get busy doing good things that are helpful, useful. Serving others makes us feel good. Creating makes us feel good. Exercising makes us feel good. Resting makes us feel good. Tapping always makes us feel good. So please remember that this is a source of love and inspiration and hope. Bring your friends and family who are also suffering into this beautiful practice that we have together and help them help themselves. So we are going to wrap up by looking into the chat. I want you to notice where you are with the issue that you came to circle with. If you're tapping on replay with us, you're tapping, noticing, oh yeah, what was my issue? How do I feel about it now? Acknowledging what's there. Maybe you process very slowly and you're just baby stepping it down and you're going to do this video 3 more times. Maybe you move very quickly. It doesn't really matter. The fact is that we're here, that we're willing, and that we're working on it together with patience and diligence. So put it in the chat. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know what your numbers were, if you were able to notice what they were and what they are now. And also let me know what you're committed to. What are you going to commit to doing for yourself as things intensify out there in the world? Because they're probably going to keep getting intense for a while. What are you going to put into your life that creates stable points, like little stepping stones, like, oh, I tap live on Monday, but maybe if I tapped on Wednesday and Friday, I'd stay more stable. Maybe I tap twice a week and have a hot bath once a week, and I do a yoga class a couple of times. Maybe I strengthen my meditation practice or chant. I want you to schedule that time into your life. It doesn't have to be long. It could be a 10-minute tap and a 5-minute nap. I'm going to look at your chat before I just start rhyming. Christina says, drop down to a 6, committed to create what I desire. Celeste, you've gone from a 10 to a 3. That is amazing. She says, thanks for all the great words to help bridge the blank pages. Danielle, a 9, a 6 up to a 9 down to a 3. Jennifer H says, I feel a lot more peace and forgiveness towards a very special friend. Now it's amazing. Much better now, more connected. Thank you. 8 to 2. I am making a bubble around me that keeps me safe, lets me be myself, stay connected and calm. Thank you, Diane. Serena says, more free and empowered, a 7 to a 3, committed to choosing how I respond. Thank you guys for taking the time to chat in. That encourages others. When they see your progress, they know that there is help, there is healing, there is beauty going on in this world. And that's what we need to focus on. So stay in gratitude. Choose your attitude. I love you so, so much. I will gratefully see you in the circle next time.